Have you ever tapped your debit card to make a quick payment, thinking it was completely safe and hassle-free, only to wonder if it might be possible for someone to secretly steal money from you without ever laying a hand on your wallet? There's a dangerous scheme known as a ghost tap scam that has been spreading faster than almost any other fraud in recent years. It mainly targets older adults who often keep their cards in easily accessible places. In just a matter of 3 seconds, criminals can empty money from your account without you realizing it, and your bank may not automatically reimburse you. My name is Melody Elliott, and in this video I'm going to walk you through exactly how this scam operates, why it's aimed so heavily at seniors, and the simple but powerful measures you can take right now to protect your finances. I urge you to keep watching until the end, because I'll share a free, inexpensive item, cheaper than a cup of coffee, that can make you practically immune to the scam and protect the savings you worked so hard to earn. Before we get started, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a like. Your support helps me keep sharing these valuable lessons for older adults. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss my future videos. If you find value in this video, please comment the number 1 below. If you don't, comment the number 0 so I'll know how to make my future lessons better for you. Now let's dive in. Part 1. What the ghost tap scam really is. The ghost tap scam is one of the most dangerous financial tricks I've encountered in my years of legal work, mainly because it exploits a convenience we've all grown comfortable with: contactless payment systems. Unlike the old-fashioned ways criminals might steal your money, physically grabbing your card, tamper with an ATM, or tricking you into typing your details on a fake website, this scam is much sneakier. Your card doesn't have to leave your purse, your wallet, or even your pocket. In less than 3 seconds, the theft can take place, leaving no immediate trace behind. This invisible nature is exactly what makes it so unnerving and hard to detect. At the center of the ghost tap scam is a technology called near-field communication, or NFC. You'll find NFC chips built into nearly every modern debit or credit card, as well as smartphones and smartwatches. It's the technology that makes tap-and-go payments possible, where you can simply wave your card or phone near a reader instead of swiping or inserting it. When you tap your card on a terminal, the NFC chip sends out a signal that communicates payment details to the machine, finalizing the transaction within seconds. This has completely transformed how we pay, making checkouts faster and easier. But unfortunately, this same convenience is what criminals have learned to manipulate. Here's how the scam looks in everyday life. Imagine you're in a busy pharmacy. Your purse hangs loosely on your shoulder, or your wallet rests inside your jacket pocket. A stranger, maybe someone appearing impatient behind you in line, edges closer than they need to. What you don't realize is that this person is carrying a portable payment machine, the same type baristas or delivery drivers often use. These devices can be bought online for as little as $50. They can be hidden inside a bag, a pocket, or even disguised as a phone case. The moment the scammer gets within a few centimeters of your card, the exact range required for NFC communication, the device triggers a payment request. Since your card's chip is constantly ready to respond, it immediately completes the transaction. You're unknowingly charged $20, $40, maybe more, right on the spot. And here's the scariest part. You won't hear a beep, feel a vibration, or get an alert unless you've set up specific notifications. Most people haven't. You continue with your day completely unaware that you've just been robbed. Meanwhile, the scammer slips away and looks for their next victim. This can happen in countless everyday settings, on crowded buses, subways, malls during peak hours, or even at large events like concerts or fairs. Some scammers work in groups, moving through busy places and targeting multiple people in one afternoon. They also deliberately keep the charges under a certain amount, usually less than $100, so that the bank's fraud system doesn't flag it. They might hit your card for $30 at one store, then $50 later the same day somewhere else. What makes it even more unsettling is the psychological effect. Because your card never leaves your side and no PIN is used, many victims don't notice right away. Days or weeks later, they finally check their bank account and see strange amounts. Maybe $1 here, $45 there. At first, they may doubt themselves. Did I buy something and forget? That uncertainty is exactly what scammers depend on. Sometimes, victims don't even bother reporting it because they think it was their own oversight, even when fraud is suspected. Proving it can be difficult since there's no physical evidence of theft. NFC cards are constantly active, always broadcasting, and this is the weakness criminals exploit. They don't need to hack a system or steal your details. All they need is to be close enough with one of these cheap devices. That's what makes the ghost tap scam so dangerous in today's world, where we're moving toward cashless living. Part 2. Why older adults are the main targets. Criminals specifically target seniors for the scam, and the number of older victims has skyrocketed recently. This isn't because older people are careless. In fact, many seniors are more careful with their possessions than younger people. But there are several reasons they're being singled out. First, accessibility. Many older adults carry handbags, wallets, or purses in ways that make it easier for someone to get close. A purse dangling loosely while shopping, a bag set on a counter at the doctor's office, or a wallet placed on a chair while waiting for a bus. All of these are moments scammers can take advantage of. Second, many seniors don't realize that their NFC-enabled cards are always transmitting a signal. Some still believe you need to physically hand over the card or swipe it for a payment to work. This lack of awareness makes it easier for criminals to exploit them. And since turning off NFC isn't always simple, it usually requires requesting a different type of card from the bank. Most people never take that step. Third, scammers deliberately choose locations where older adults spend their time. Community centers, grocery stores during weekday mornings, libraries, pharmacies, and even senior housing facilities. They blend in, sometimes pretending to be workers or volunteers, wearing fake badges or uniforms to look legitimate. Meanwhile, older adults in these places are often focused on their errands, chatted with others, or just distracted, which makes them less likely to notice someone standing too close. Lastly, scammers assume seniors don't check their accounts as often, especially if they don't use mobile banking apps. That gives criminals a longer window to repeatedly hit the same person before the fraud is caught. Sometimes victims don't see the charges until their monthly statement arrives, at which point the scammer may have already drained hundreds of dollars. Even then, some older adults hesitate to report it, either unsure how the theft happened or afraid that banks or family members won't believe them. This combination, habits, environment, and assumptions, creates a perfect storm for fraudsters. And the emotional toll is often just as damaging as the financial one. Older adults, who value routine and trust in everyday systems, may feel betrayed when that trust is broken. Part 3. The legal gray area and bank's response. As a lawyer, I've seen how victims expect their bank to immediately refund fraudulent charges, only to be shocked when that doesn't happen. Laws in the U.S., UK, Australia, and Canada all promise consumer protections against unauthorized transactions. But in practice, it's not always that simple. Because in ghost tap scams, a card is never stolen, cloned, or hacked. It behaves exactly the way it's supposed to. Banks often classify these payments as authorized. The card responded. The system processed a payment, and there were no security failures. That's the bank's viewpoint, and it shifts the burden of proof onto the cardholder. Proving a ghost tap theft is incredibly hard, unless you have video evidence of someone using a portable device near your purse, or a witness backing up your claim. There's usually nothing concrete to present, and since the transactions are small, often below $100, they don't trigger heavy fraud investigations. Banks sometimes dismiss them as forgotten purchases, or suggest that a family member used the card with permission. Another problem is reporting deadlines. For example, in the U.S., you typically have 60 days to report unauthorized charges, but some banks set much shorter time frames for full protection. If you only notice the fraud after a week or two, your case might already be weaker. Even if the bank agrees to investigate, the process can be exhausting. Filing disputes, writing statements, proving your whereabouts, or even getting police reports. If your claim is rejected, your only option may be to escalate it to regulators like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in the U.S., the Financial Ombudsman Service in the U.K., or similar agencies in other countries. That process can take months, requires persistence, and is overwhelming for many seniors. Scammers know this. They depend on the fact that many people won't go through such a complicated battle for a $50 refund. That's why prevention is the most powerful tool you have. Part 4. How you can protect yourself right now. The good news is this. Although the ghost tap scam is scary, it is also one of the easiest scams to prevent if you take the right steps. Criminals depend on two things: your card's active tap-to-pay feature and being close enough to connect. By addressing one or both, you can protect yourself almost completely. 1. Use RFID blocking protection. The most effective step is to block the signals your card sends. You can buy RFID blocking sleeves, wallets, or bags. These act like shields that stop your card's chip from communicating with any device. They're cheap, sometimes just a couple of dollars, and widely available online and in stores. If you carry multiple cards, make sure all of them are protected. Even passports and access cards use RFID, so protecting everything in your wallet is wise. 2. Disable tap-to-pay. If you rarely use contactless payments, consider turning the feature off entirely. Most banks let you do this in their apps or by calling customer service. Once it's disabled, your card can only be used when physically inserted into a machine and verified with your PIN, making ghost tapping impossible. 3. Be mindful of where you carry your card. Since scammers need to get close, simply placing your wallet in a more secure spot, like a front pocket or deep inside a zip bag, can make a difference. Avoid keeping cards in easy-to-reach places where strangers can stand close without you noticing. To reduce your risk of ghost tap scams, store your cards in hard-to-reach places. Use an inner zippered pocket of a handbag or backpack instead of an outer pocket, and place the card inside an RFID blocking sleeve for extra protection. In clothing, choose secure spots like a jacket inside pocket or a front pants pocket, rather than a back pocket that's easy to access. When in crowds, keep your card closer to your torso instead of your hip to make brushing against it less likely. Be especially cautious in high-risk areas such as public transit, markets, or concerts, where scammers can blend in easily. These small adjustments make it harder for criminals to get close to your card, and since they prefer easy targets, even minor changes in your habits can deter them. Another vital step is monitoring your accounts regularly. A quick daily check to your bank's app or online portal is enough. Look out for any charges you don't recognize, no matter how small. Scammers often make low-value transactions, e.g., $10, $50, to avoid detection. Treat any unknown charge as a warning sign. If your bank offers real-time transaction alerts, enable them. For those less comfortable with technology, such as seniors, a trusted family member can help monitor accounts. Educating yourself and others is equally important. Share what you know about ghost tap scams with family, friends, and your community, especially seniors or heavy users of contactless payments. Greater awareness makes it harder for scammers to find victims. For example, one retiree I work with stopped ghost tap fraud entirely by using an RFID wallet, disabling tap-to-pay, and checking their account daily. Prevention takes some effort, but it's far less stressful than recovering stolen money. Still, scams can happen despite precautions. If you become a victim, act quickly. 1. Contact your bank immediately. Report the fraud, request the card be frozen, dispute the charges, and note the claim number. Ask for written confirmation of your report. 2. File a police report. Even if local police can't investigate, the report creates an official record that helps with disputes or escalation. 3. Document everything. Keep screenshots of transactions, logs of calls with the bank, copies of emails, and any written acknowledgments. 4. Escalate if necessary. If the bank delays or denies your claim, take your case to a financial ombudsman or regulator in your country, providing all documentation. 5. Replace your card. Request a new card number and consider disabling tap-to-pay or using RFID protection. 6. Learn and adapt. After resolving the case, reinforce preventive measures and share your experience to protect others. Victims who act quickly, keep thorough records, and escalate disputes when necessary often succeed in getting full refunds. The key is persistence and preparation. By staying vigilant, building good habits, and spreading awareness, you protect not only yourself but also your community.